Today we're going to be potting up some strawberries and pinching some snapdragons. So now let's go ahead, grab the snapdragons and get them beheaded. Look at them all. They look so happy. To snip back the snapdragons, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the first set of leaves that looks super robust. And this is going to allow them to branch out. So let me find one that you can actually see. So let's look at this one over here. You see all this growth right here that looks super healthy, and then you have these two set of leaves right here that also look really healthy. And I'm going to go back and snip it right there. If you look carefully between these two leaves over here, you'll see that there are two branches that would want to sprout out. But by snipping the top off, you're going to allow these two stems to sprout out and produce more flowers for you rather than just one stalk of flower. So we're going to do the same to all of them, taking care not to pinch the leaves off. And I'm only going to do it to the ones that look really lush and healthy. And I'm going to leave the ones that are not that tall and don't have a lot of growth on them to pinch them later. Or I may just leave them to see the difference between them and the ones that I pinched. I think I'm probably just gonna do that. It's basically the same thing that you would do to your basil. This is what you're doing to your snapdragons so that they can put on a lot more growth and get bushy. We're gonna put this tray back. These don't really look like strawberries, and I hope they're still alive. I dug them out a few days ago and I planted most of them in my two beds that are dedicated for strawberries, but I ended up with a lot extra strawberries and I thought, let me try and pot them up. But we had a really busy weekend and I wasn't able to get to them. And I'm hoping that if I try to pot them up, they will actually produce something, like put on some growth. I don't expect them to produce fruits, but I'm hoping that they will put on growth because it hasn't been that many days and I may be able to revive them from their death or dormancy that I put them in. And after I pot them up, I'm just going to put them outside. I will make sure to water them. It is pretty cold still outside. Over here, we're still having some freezing temperatures. But some days are also warm. I have some potting soil over here. I'm not going to even attempt to lift the bag because it is really heavy and it's wet. So that's good. I also have these 3-inch pots over here and I'm going to fill them up with soil, and then we are going to pot up the strawberries in these pots right here. And I may find a place for the strawberries to stay. I'm hoping that by building the new beds, I'll have a place for them. I did not want them in my flower bed anymore. These were in the flower bed. I only placed them in there for a short time so that I will get them transplanted in the future when the beds were ready. The beds were ready last year. I didn't get to it, but this year I did and finally transplanted them. And now we have extras that we are going to pot up. And I'll update you guys to see if these actually survived or not. So I got all the pots over here filled with soil, and we're gonna grab our strawberries over here. What I'm going to do, they have runners and such, and some dead leaves, and I'm going to snip these off. So I have my scissors over here, and I'm just gonna use them to clean up the strawberries and hope for the best that these strawberries will actually make it. Let me demonstrate one to you over here. So I'm going to grab this one, and when you are potting up strawberries, you want to plant the root in the ground, but you want to avoid putting the crown in the soil. And if you put the crown in the soil, that will cause it to rot and your strawberries won't survive. Now, will these strawberries survive because they're kind of dry? I don't know. Again, this is a test of sorts. We're gonna see if they will actually make it or not. And I think if I need some soil, I'll just grab some more and cover the roots. So my concern is more with the crown. Like so. So now we have our crown exposed and the roots are covered. We'll get these watered and see if they're going to survive. I only have, I don't know, 50 or so more to pot up. I don't know if I'll pot them all up, but I'm gonna try my best to pot as many as I can because hey, we love strawberries, right? So I don't know if it was clear on that camera. I'm going to demonstrate to you again on this camera. So I'm just snipping off any dead that I see over here. All these right here are runners and I'm just snipping them off. I'll have to clean up my mess right after. There we go. Looks pretty dry, but we'll see. And you see right here, this is the crown. You can see that. And the roots are pretty clear where they are. So you want to cover it just up to here and you want to keep the crown exposed. And if you have roots coming out from the crown right here and you think that you'd have to bury the crown, let's say up to here, don't do that. You just want to put the roots in the soil and keep the crown up over the soil. So let me show you with this one what I mean, because this one has the roots sort of connected to the crown. You can see the crown extended right here. You see it right there. And the roots are coming out of it. So what I do is I just lay it like so on the soil. So I'm gonna dig a hole in here first. And we're gonna put the roots in the soil, oops, as best as we can. And then you see how it's sort of laid down like so. And we're just gonna cover it with some soil. Only the roots. I'm gonna grab some of the soil I dropped over here. Just like that. Is it silly of me to try to get these to survive? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe some would consider it a waste of time, but it's a lot of strawberries and I kind of want to see if I can get them to live. So now I'm just gonna speed up and get all these strawberries done. This one actually looks like it still has life in it. So I just finished potting up all the strawberries. Some of them look dry and quite a bit of them actually still look like they have some good life in there. So let me show you what I did over here. Here they all are. I have 46 of them and I made quite a bit of mess. But you can see over here, look at this. We have some that are really that are still quite a bit alive. And it looks like, did I plant this one? No, I thought I did. I don't know, I'll plant it again. But yeah, they're all doing super great. But look at this, for example, this is all the crown over here. You don't want to mistake it for the root. If you buy strawberries that are bare root, they might look like this. So don't mistake this for the root. This is the crown over here. If it has runners, the runners are going to look sort of like this, not as wiry as the roots are going to be. The roots are going to be a lot tougher. So if you look at this one over here, well, this one barely has roots on it, but here, let's pick this one up over here that came out of the ground. But you can see right here, this is a root and that is a runner. And the runner is more kind of, I don't know, it's more papery versus the root has a lot more starches to it and has some beef. So I'm not sure if all of these strawberries will survive, but I think I will have a lot of them that will survive. And I may either find a place for them and plant them, or I don't know, I may do something else with them. I'm not sure. But they're potted and I feel good about this. I forgot to mention that these strawberries are going to be going outside. I will water them outside once they're there. Because they're already acclimated for the weather outside, because I don't want them to kind of start instigating growth on them and get confused that this is summer, because outside it's still super cold. So I'm just gonna take them all outside and water them. This way they will know where they are and when they are. I have something that is super exciting that I've created just for you, and that is a bulb planting calendar. So in this calendar, it has the bloom time, the bloom duration, the hardiness zones, the soil type, the water requirement, and whether the bulbs are deer resistant or not. It also includes beautiful pictures of the bulbs and how the bulbs also look like. And it shows you where the shoots are, where the roots are, and it has all these information in here. And there are many different varieties of bulbs that are included in this calendar. It also includes planting depth and many other helpful information in here. And this is completely free and you can go ahead and grab it today. I will be leaving the link for you in the comment section below and in the description box below. The reason why I created this calendar is because I wanted a calendar just like it for myself to tell me when I should be planting what, because not all bulbs are planted at the same time. So this takes all the guesswork out for you, and you have all the information available for you in this bulb planting calendar.